Welcome to today's video where I'm going to be showing you some new products designed by me and a new product ranged by Wow Embossing Powder. This features some new fantastic foiling background designs and sentiments for your cards. I'm Verity, welcome to my YouTube channel and blog Pretty Little Button, where I make paper crafting tutorials for the everyday crafter. So as I mentioned, there is a new product range from Wow Embossing Powder, and they are called the Wow Fab Foilers. This is being released as part of their January release, where there are a whole host of new stencils, embossing powders, and these Fab Foiler ranges. So we're just looking at the set that I've designed, but there are two other types of packs, as well as a solid panel pack, so do make sure you check them out. So I've created a pack set with 3 backgrounds and then 1 sentiment panel. So this is the sentiment panel. It's got really lovely encouragement, sentiments, missing you, you can count on me, thank you. And then I've got 3 background panels. So the first one you saw earlier was a sort of a distressed stripe pattern. This is a squiggle pattern that is really sort of just quite abstract. And then we've got these fading dots. Again, these dots are like abstract dots as well. And you can use this from at the top, or you can rotate it and have the dots fading downwards. So as I did mention, there are some other designs, so make sure you check out the website to see them all. Now I'm going to use the first panel that I showed you. That was the distressed stripes background. Now I will give you some tips on foiling this background. When I did this was the first panel that I'd done with it. I had my Minc machine set to 3. I've found when I've foiled it since, it is better to have it on a lower heat setting, so either 2 or 1 when you come to foil this background. This is because these are not solid stripes, so they've got a bit of fuzziness and fade out on some of them. They're a bit distressed. Using the hotter heat setting means that when it foils and comes almost overfoils those lines because it melts quite a lot. And it makes it a little bit more of a solid pattern, so you don't get that distressed look when you're using a higher heat setting. So in the future, I have always now heat set this background panel on a lower heat setting, about 2. So I have trimmed some blush fab foil down to cover this, and then I'm placing that in a carrier sheet with the pretty side of the foil facing up over the top of the black toner design. So remember, these are toner sheets. They have printed toner, so they will work with toner reactive foils. They will not react with heat reactive foils that you would use for other foiling like your glimmer machines. So once it's run through the Minc machine with a carrier sheet, or you could use a laminator, it is then time to do the best bit, and that is the peel and reveal. Of course, it's always the best bit, peeling off that foil and just seeing that foiled, beautiful design. And I really love how the stripes look. Even though this has overfoiled it slightly, it shows that you can get a much more fuller stripe look if you're wanting a bit more of a clean classic stripe, or if you want that more distressed look, just go for a slightly lower heat setting. I'm also going to use a sentiment from the sentiment panel, and these are all easy to trim down. I've grouped the sentiments together based on their size and height, so you can easily trim them into strips and then trim them down into sort of squares. I am using the Sending Love and Hugs to You sentiment, and I'm going to foil this in some teal fab foil. So I'm just cutting this down, and I'm using a pair of scissors that have not got anything sticky or any glue on them, because you don't want that to touch the foil, as it could lift some of that foil up before you've used it. Just placing enough over the top, and then I'm running this through my Minc machine again. Now all of these Fab Foilers are printed on the Wow Embossing Powder smooth cardstock. This cardstock is fabulous for foiling, so if you want to use smooth cardstock for any other foiling, for say with your glimmer machine, your heat reactive machine, this cardstock is fantastic for that. Again, once it's run through, I just remove that, and then I have a beautiful teal foiled sentiment to use on my card. Now I have trimmed that down and I have fussy cut it out. I love to fussy cut, it doesn't bother me, but you can keep it as a square if you'd like. For the actual card, what I've done is I have taken a heart die and I've die cut the heart out of the middle of that panel. And then I'm just adhering some double-sided tape around the edge of the heart. and I've trimmed down a piece of acetate. This acetate I'm going to place behind the heart die cut opening of the card, so it's on the back of the card panel, just to create a window, a see-through window, because I'm going to turn this into a shaker card. Once the acetate is adhered down, I can then add foam tape around the edge to sort of seal off that heart area, so I have a place to place my sequins to contain them. Now I have doubled up the foam tape just to give it a bit of area and a bit of dimension to allow those sequins to move around. And you want to make sure that you've sealed up quite a lot of your gaps, making sure if there are any gaps, they are not any bigger than any of your sequins or your embellishments that you're putting inside your shaker. If you're using glitter, obviously you really need to make sure all of your gaps are sealed. If you're interested in any of the products that I'm using in today's video, just check out the description box below for the products that I have used, but also you can check out my blog post where there is more information and some more cards for you to see. Now, once I have created that foam area, I'm just placing my sequins on my card panel just to determine what kind of sequins I wanted. Now, I went for some soft colours because I've got a blush colour foil, and I was just checking whether, one, they looked good together first of all, and because I don't want them to overtake the card, I want there to be that shaker element, but I'm not looking for it to be really, really popping out from the heart. Once I'm happy that I have enough of those sequins in place, I can then peel off the backing of the foam tape and I can adhere that down over the top of those sequins. This will then contain all those sequins, and when you shake it about, you'll see those sequins shaking about as well. Now, I wanted to use the sentiment over the top of the window, and I've just added some foam tape on the back of that just to pop it up and adhere it down. If you're watching this over on my YouTube channel, do make sure that you head over to my blog. I have an extra card that I created with the leftover die cut from this heart, so that can give you some more inspiration and shows you a great way of using all your pieces up in crafting. And I've also got another card which is featuring as part of the Instagram cop. This video is obviously part of the YouTube World Cup to celebrate the release of the giveaway. For more information on the giveaway, please do check the description box below. You'll find a link to the next person in the hop as well, and make sure you leave a comment along the video hop as you go. If you're new here, why not think about subscribing? I'd love to have subscribing to the channel. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when my next video is up. If you'd like 10% discount at the shop, just use the code that you can see on screen. Until next time, happy crafting and happy shopping.